Hi, my name is James, and I'm 44.
How are you, James?
I'm good.
So, James, we're sitting down today after we met during the event at Dave and Buster's. You're actually a friend of Natasha's, who's one of our previous episodes.
Right, that's right.
Perfect. Well, I want to start our conversation asking you a question. What do you think people's first impression of you is?
Wow. Um, that's interesting, because I've been called a number of different things, positive and negative, from gentleman, nice and kind, to nerd, outcast, or even worse, when they don't call you at all. It's like you're not even relevant enough to garner a phone call.
Interesting.
So, yeah, but when you face all those different varying types of viewpoints about yourself, and you grew up a people pleaser like I did, it'll drive you crazy if you let it. So, we talked about earlier. I talked about how a part of you has to die. A part of me had to die, that people pleasing part of me, so that I wouldn't focus so much on what people thought of me, and more about what I thought about myself. And just one day I realized that, wow, okay, I doesn't really even bother me if people think things about me that aren't true. I don't feel the need to justify myself to them, because I know the truth. So it's all right. Either way, things are going to be okay. So I don't know. It's it's a great feeling to get to that point. It took a while. It took a long while though.
Where are you from originally?
Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Born and raised. Okay, that is for a long time, that was the motto. Oklahoma is okay.
That's amazing.
That is
I didn't even think about it when it came out of my mouth.
Oklahoma. It's, yeah, okay.
So the wind blew and California was your destination.
Yes.
So how long have you been in California?
Coming up on 7 years now. Almost 7 years.
And what do you do out here?
Oof. Well, I came out here to performance act, be an actor, commercials, movies, television, but I also do installation for swimming pools, and I'm a technician for swimming pools. I've done open house hosting.
When they need a Barry White? What is one thing that would surprise people to know about you?
I think probably the jokester side of me, because along with the kind and gentleman, it's really more of a buttoned up type of guy that I think that a lot of people see me as. But once they get to know me, they realize that I'm not. I don't take myself seriously at all. I really like to have fun. I may have an old spirit, but I feel like I'm young at heart. So it's I like to have fun and enjoy myself. And some people don't really know that about me, and maybe they just found it out.
What's been your favorite role you've had or industry job you've gotten?
Favorite role? It's gotta be. There was a film I did with a Japanese filmmaker. It's called The Alkman, and I call it The Avengers on a Bender because it's really a superhero type film, but it's centered around alcohol, and everyone's name in the cast has a name of alcohol. So my character's name was Daniel Vodwisky, and I was more of the Nick Fury character. So just playing that authoritarian figure over a bunch of superheroes was a really cool experience. And it was one of those things where not only did they make the film, but they made a comic book about the film. So I got to be in the comic book too. And this wasn't the highest paying film job that I've ever had, and it definitely wasn't something that everybody got to see, but it did show in Japan, so that was exciting. And just looking back, there's another commercial that I did for Amazon, and that got shown nationwide, and everyone I know got to see that one. But what was more rewarding was the one that I did that I got to be in the comic book. It's just like a childhood thing. It's like, wow, I'm in a comic book, like all the other comic books, like the Batmans and the Supermans I used to read. I'm in one of those too. So that's really cool. And I never thought my career would ever take me to do something like that. But just to be a part of a project that goes as far as Japan to be viewed, and then also I have this tangible comic book that I'm a character in, that was really fun.
Anyone watching that's a comic book fan is probably having serious envy right now.
Wow, yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's a good point, because that's, again, you grow up wanting to be a superhero. Like I grew up really loving the Batman Bruce Wayne character, so I always wanted to be, but I always wanted to be more the Bruce Wayne than the Batman. You know, the rich kid that has all the money and all the trinkets and all the cars, and that just seemed cool with me.
So tell me about getting to California, and did you come just because you wanted to be an actor, or was there something else that drove you to California?
I came just for that. In 2013, I competed in a contest called IMTA, International Model and Talent Association. And it's like a worldwide thing where actors and models come from all over the globe to come and compete in this competition that's about a week long. And they put you through different paces where you have to do one-liners, you have to model jeans, you have to do print ads, you have to cold read, a cold read is when they hand you a script and you read it right then. That's your first time seeing it. You have to read from a teleprompter, you have to do a 1-minute monologue. So they do all these things. It's almost like an Olympics for talent. They test all your muscles and see which ones work. And I won the competition. I became Male Actor of the Year for IMTA 2013. And the judges for all the competitions are agents and managers here in Los Angeles. And the competition was here in Los Angeles, I should say. So we all flew out here, competed in it, and I won it. And when I won, I signed with one of the top managers out here, and they started getting me auditions out here, but I was still back in Oklahoma. So they eventually, over 6 months' time, they convinced me to pack up and move out here. And so I did. I packed everything in one of those budget trucks and drove out from Oklahoma, 22 hours, nonstop, no sleep.
And so leaving family behind, friends.
Leaving family behind, friends behind. Some people thought I left my sanity behind, and just went, and I just reached for something that was so unknown and so foreign to me that even thinking about it now, it's like, wow, that's kind of scary. But I wasn't thinking like that. I wasn't afraid to do it. I was afraid not to do it. That's more of what it was. If I don't go, then what's my life going to look like? Am I going to like it? Am I going to love it? I don't even like it. Am I going to love it? If I don't, then I don't need to be here. And maybe, there's something bigger out there, because I just competed against people from Tokyo, from Houston, from New York, from all these entertainment capitals, and this small kid from Oklahoma beat them all. There's something. So we got to try. We have to go try. So that's what drove me out here.
That's awesome.
I was homeless 4 months after getting out here, though.
Really?
Yes.
So the management team didn't come through? What happened?
Well, I mean, it's this career is kind of feast or famine. So you have to be ready for the famine. And when I moved out here, I didn't understand how much greater the cost of living was versus Oklahoma. So I came out here with my Oklahoma savings, attempting to live in California, and the rent was about 2-3 times higher, and it just ate away at the savings a lot faster than I thought, and I just found myself out on the street and just wondering, should I go back? Is this a sign that I should go back? I can't go back. it's too easy to go back. So I had to press on.
So how long did you live on the street?
The first time, because it was twice during this journey out here in Los Angeles. The first time was about 2 weeks. It was about 2 weeks, but I kept plugging on, trying to get roles here, there, wherever, and I found out that someone's play that I was participating in was renting a room in their home. So I got there, and that lasted for about a year and a half or so. And things just got tumultuous in the house, and she ran everybody out of the house. And that was the second time I was homeless.
And how long that time?
Ooh, 9 months, maybe. I don't know anyone here. I don't really have I don't have family here. Anyone who's lived out here knows it's kind of difficult to make true friends out here, especially when the chips are down. Everybody loves you when things are great. When you're on TV and all that, everybody finds your number. But when you don't have it, they lose it. I guess eventually the word of my situation got around to people who do have a heart like that. And they say, hey man, I heard you're going to different hotels and staying. You don't have to do that. You can come stay here. 2 times in my life out here, people were just like, hey, you don't have to do that. You can come and stay here. We have room, or we'll make room for you. Because we see something in you. There's greatness in you, and we can't let that die here. So, hey, here's a floor. You can sleep on the floor. One of my buddies shout out to Emmanuel Bernard. He shared his floor with me, and I stayed there for a year. And then made another friend over the course of that year who was like, hey, I see you living like that. You don't have to live like that. Shout out to Christopher Wall. And he reached out and said, hey, we have a couch. You can sleep on our couch. Did that for about a year. And then from there, got into an apartment, my own place, bought a car. First of all, I didn't think I'd live out here. But now to go from sleeping on one of the leather chairs in Union Station overnight to having my own bed, taking warm showers, and being able to get into a car and drive to places that I need to go to work, where I used to worry about making $200 in a month. Now I make that in a half a day or a day of work. So if someone told me I had to go through all that to get there, I might not have done it. But just the fact that there was something inside me, I was like, no, you're better than your situation. This is just a temporary moment. You can get through it. You just have to take one more step, one more day, send one more email, make one more phone call, answer one more phone call. The breakthrough's coming. And it has. So, there are lots of things that people want in this life and so afraid to go for it because they're afraid they might fail and fail publicly. And I was afraid of that. I was afraid that coming out here, everyone in Oklahoma would be like, see, told you he lost his mind. He went out there and he's homeless, he's losing it, he's crazy. But there was something vindicating about that commercial. And everyone's like, hey, did I just see you? Yeah. Yes, you did. You did. That kid that used to know, that guy you used to go to high school with, that guy you went to college with. That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's right. I did it. And it was like, we did it. It was like for my family, for everyone that shared the last name Nichols. Nichols. It's like now we're on the map. kind of like, just like it was a commercial for March Madness. Everyone watches that. People at work watch that. They're not supposed to be at work watching that. They're watching it, and it showed like 5 times every game. And it was just amazing, the type of response and just the pride that everyone had with Oklahoma. It's like, wow. And then from that, I start hearing other people, man, I'm gonna go do this. This is this thing that I wanted to go do. I'm gonna go do it because I saw you do it. You were scared. You were afraid. And now they know that there was lots of failure involved. But still, we did it.
So you became an inspiration for others.
Yes. And that's really all I wanted to do. That's really all I wanted to do was inspire others to step outside their comfort zone and just try it. Because what if you're as good as you think you are? What if you're better? How great would that feel? And then to be able to look back on the person that you once were and say, wow, look at the growth. Look at the transition that happened, and look at all these lives that were touched along the way. That's being rich. It's just touching all these souls and encouraging them to do what they've been given to do. Don't necessarily, you don't have to necessarily do what I'm doing, because it might not be for you. Just like what you might do is not for me. Just reach for it.
I'm just over here being quiet because I'm so in awe of you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think that everything that you've said is so important. And I was just actually having this conversation with someone on Tuesday when we filmed, and it's everyone, you can't be someone else because you're you.
Right. Yeah. But when you're a people pleaser, you're trying to figure out what each person, who they want you to be. And you're just trying to shape shift into whoever, and that's too much. When you're in a room full of people and you're trying to be all this different person to these people,
it's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a prison that you placed yourself in. And why not just break yourself out of that and just be the person that you really want to be. You really want to be that person. It's not necessarily a negative person. It's just the true you. They're going to like you or dislike you regardless. So just go ahead and be who you are.
And we have no right to judge the next man anyway, so
That's right.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
right.
So I have one last question to close out this conversation that
Okay.
I'm enjoying tremendously. What if there was one thing that as you walk by people on the street, you could hold up a sign that would tell people something about James? What would you want that sign to say?
He gave more to this world than he took.
I like it. Thank you so much.